Yeah, get off the grid. Get a solar panel.
Yeah, right. There's no sun in Florida. What are you talking about?
It's all sun, baby. What's up, everybody?
118 degrees in Florida.
Welcome to the Laser Source podcast, the number one podcast if you
like to be solar charged.
I was going to say live in Florida.
Florida.
You know, we do stuff here. We got stuff to talk about today. You're here to listen to it, and I'm really excited to have all you guys here live. If you're here with us live. Also live right now is Johnson Plastics Plus's website. It almost never goes down. Yeah, they sponsor our show, and they make it so that we... Lara. They make it so that... Florida, that's where Lara lives. They make it so that we can do the show every single week. So if you guys love the show, go support our sponsor, Johnson Plastics Plus. There's a link down in the description. You get 15% off almost everything in the store. 15% off. They got a lot of great blanks right now. I'm trying to stock up for Christmas. Kyle and I talked a little bit about it last week while you were gone, Matt. But they have some really good stuff out right now. And they have ornaments in stock, which was kind of the main thing we talked about. That is not going to be the case in November. So get after that kind of stuff now. Again, link down in the description. Help support our sponsor and help support us. But thank you guys for being here listening to the show today. I, as always, have just a buttload to talk about, but I will stave that off and let you guys chime in real quick and let me know how you've been. Matt, you've been gone. You haven't been out and about. What have you been doing? Oot and a boot.
I was just telling Kyle about the lovely adventure we had to Tennessee. So basically this year we took the kids to Tennessee because they're actually like old enough to go somewhere and do something.
Yeah.
So
that's high up on my hit list of places to take my kids. Tennessee.
Actually, I was surprised, dude. It was actually pretty dope. Like, went to Chattanooga, and it was pretty cool. They had some like really, really good food. You know, I'm down for that. And then we actually went and explored some like underground caves, where we went to like see underground waterfalls and stuff like that, and that was pretty dope. And then the big adventure came when we were heading home. I was telling Kyle about Cade having projectile vomit the entire way home. So from Thursday at 5 a.m., we get in the car. Like, I'm driving like a bat out of hell through the dark. And I'm thinking, like, man, what a great day. We're going to skip all the traffic. It's going to be awesome. And then in the back, I hear, and I'm like, bless you. And I'm like, that's a weird sneeze. And then Kate goes, it was not a sneeze. And he like holds his hand out like this and just puke.
No.
Yeah. So just, typical like car trips, I guess. And then I spent like a day cleaning the expedition. It's just gross.
Gross. That is gross.
Yeah. But they had some really good adventures up until that point. Then we got to go to the hospital for extreme dehydration because that happened. Yeah. So Cade got to have an overnight stay. So he's going to have like a badass, like, what did you do this summer? Like, I went and saw an underground waterfall that was 100 feet tall. And I vomited for 2 days until I went to the hospital and played Xbox.
It almost went to actual underground.
Yeah.
No
what
big
up?
deal.
Yeah, and kids are gonna be like, no, and we're like, we have pictures.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had fun.
That's it. That's been my adventure this week.
Enjoy the break from work, nonetheless.
It did until that day.
Yeah. It's gross.
Anyways, but I'm glad to be back. It's exciting. Tuesday, I think I was passed out because we had spent the whole day.
Did you get behind on any laser work while you were gone, or did you kind of have did you leave with a clear counter?
No. I came back to someone wanting 10 tumblers. 2 principals reached out to me for getting some tumblers made. Somebody else wants 180 plastic signs. Like, that's like that plastic payday video that I made ages ago. It's still a moneymaker, dude. It just brings in easy money. And so that's one of those things where I was like, yep. They said, here's the price that we normally get these at. Can you beat it? And I beat it by a quarter. And they were like, awesome. Because, 180 times a quarter saves them a pretty penny. And then they said, we'll pay for shipping up to us. And I was like, fantastic.
Great.
So it's just done. So that's pretty much it. So I was thinking about doing that while we were having the show, but I'll just do it after. I need like an hour for my brain to just relax and chill. Yep. That's me.
Kyle, do you have any stories? Or are you just Kyling?
My cat escaped this week on Friday. in the wee hours.
I meant, but that's a good story.
That's my nightmare for the week. Kind of like Matt had his throw up.
Yeah,
my cat went missing for like 3 days. So
Jesus,
so he's back. He's back.
Was it Teddy that went missing, or was it one of the? Yeah,
it was Teddy.
That's a bummer.
Of course, the one with all the health issues.
Of course.
And
he's like, I'm pretty much on life support. I'd better take off.
Yeah.
I heard that it's 120 degrees in Florida. I
might miss my dialysis, but it'll be fine. I'll make up for it next week.
Yeah. So that's about it. That's how things went in terms of surprises.
Yeah.
Did you know? I don't have anything else.
I was giving Kyle shit before the show. Did you know Kyle's still running 1.6 as like his daily driver?
Not anymore.
Oh, did you just update it?
I did. So I had the 2.0 RC installed from back when I was testing it. So if I needed to mess with anything, I could just switch to that. Yeah. And then I had like my stable 1.6 and 1.7 on my other computers. And yeah.
Let's see what I'm rocking.
I'm officially on 2.0.02.
02.
Yeah.
All right.
2.0.02.
What do you think I'm running?
I think you're running 1.7.3.
I think he's running 1.6.03.
Did I nail it?
Kyle? No, 1.77.
Oh, I was close.
That was like the best stable one that like for all of my lasers it works so great.
Do you just not have an active license right now?
No, I do. It literally tells me every day like, hey, this came out, and I'm like, I'll give it a minute. I wait for the next one to come out.
I went ham over the weekend / yesterday, and I went into you Cryptlex where you deal with all your Lightburn keys. I deleted every single license activation that I had, and then I went through and did clean virtual machine installs on all of my computers, deleted OneDrive from all of them. That was a big step. That was a big important step, completely removing OneDrive because OneDrive fucking is the worst. And then once OneDrive was gone, I synced them all to Sync Thing. I created a folder called Laser Config, which is where all of my Lightburn device profiles and things live. Synced that Sync Thing folder up to that Laser Config folder and networked all the computers together. So if I make a change to a library in one place, it makes them in all the places. And then installed. Well, then I had to buy the new activation key, whatever thing. So I did that. I have extra seats on my license because Jason's nice and knows that I have 50 computers we like to test everything on. So I bought 2 renewals for 2 licenses, which got me 7 seats for fresh updates. Then I installed Lightburn, Xtool Creative Space, and WeCreat Make It on every single virtual machine. Running on every single computer.
How long did that take you?
It took about 3 days. It was a process. It took about 3 days, but now all of my VMs are all identical and they're all running the latest version of everything.
Dude, see, that's really nice because then when you go from here to there, files don't have weird corruption issues and all that bull crap. And it's that's especially for you. You've got so many freaking lasers. I've got these 3 behind me and that one over there. Done.
Yeah, dude. And I've been on an early 1.7 build for a long time. So, but Rhiannon and I have been talking about starting the version 2 of the Lightburn crash course essentially. Yeah, and nice. I'm not doing it on an outdated build. So
no, you can't.
Yeah, no, you can't. So we're gonna start fresh with 2.0 point whatever it ends up being when we get started. I don't know if I should wait for a minor version update like 2.1 or if we should just go now.
Well, they've already got 2.02.
It's 2.0.02.
Yeah, correct. 20.02.
Which is a very minor revision. I feel like that's just bug fixes. But I don't want a 2.1 to drop and then have all of our work invalidated immediately after we finish it. So I don't really know.
We just spent 3 weeks working on this, and then the next week they're all of that is trash.
Yeah, all that is, so forget it. It's wrong. So yeah, I haven't really decided yet. I'm just gonna start working on it when I have time, and whatever's out, it's out. But I'm excited to start working on that series. And these last couple days have been a major prep day for that. So now that everything's kind of like stable and unified,
Yeah.
I can move forward.
I feel like people don't understand when you make videos and you make them at the scale, like at a certain scale, it's almost like when you're cleaning out your shop, like you have to make a mess to make something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like creative people get that, but like I don't know.
Yeah. David was at my shop today, by the way, from Excel Laser.
Oh.
He was literally at my shop. He just wandered in post LBX in like a haze, a stupor, I guess. He's like, this doesn't look like New York. You know, it's like cows mooing at him and shit.
This building is way smaller.
Yeah. But anyway, he came and he didn't even want to talk business today. We just like hung out. He was like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Because he's been like a software engineer his whole life. And he got into 3D printing with his brother. And they started like their first company. And then he switched over to Excel Laser to start working on that kind of stuff. But the man is new to the laser world. He has like this massive 3D printing background, but he's new to lasers. He's only been working with lasers for like a year and a half. And so he just like, he was like a kid in a candy shop, because we have every single laser we've ever gotten, we still have here.
You know what you should have had? You should have had an empty table and been like, this is where we'll film the Excel Laser. Just saying.
Yeah, I thought about that. I don't have an empty table. I have no idea where I'm going to put that.
Buy an empty table, Alex.
At this point, dude, it's going to go on the floor. But
kick it down the stairs.
Hey, no, what did we kick down the stairs? Do you remember?
The first week.
That was the first WeCreat.
Yeah.
The first.
You were like, this thing's really heavy. I didn't think it would be.
That's fine. It's fine. It was fine.
It was fine. There was good packaging.
Works fine, minus one fatal flaw, which we'll talk about later in the episode. But anyway, so it was really nice having David. I wish I had more to tell, but we barely talked about Excel Laser at all. He just wanted to like play with the toys in my shop. Yeah, he just wanted to come over and play with the toys and like hang out and be a nerd. So that's what we did, and it was a good time. I didn't even, I usually like take like a selfie with my visitors or like something. Nothing. I have no proof that he even visited at all. So it's just me. I could have imagined the whole thing essentially. So
did you updated all your laser stuff? Did you update any of your exhaust? Because that could have caused
my exhaust works fine. What's wrong with my exhaust?
David was here all day, and it's just you.
That was very New York of you, right there.
Yeah.
What's wrong with my exhaust?
What's wrong with my exhaust? Like, you think that David from Excel Laser was there, and it was just you like this in a chair?
We didn't even run anything. We spent like most of the time. So I had the Pyburn V4 that we need to use for a glass job that Rhiannon got, because the guy does not want like cylinder correction sized things. He wants like rotary sized things. So I pulled it down, but I've only ever used that rotary on the Mira. So it only has that 6-pin like GTX connector on it. And so only 4 of those are actually valid pins. So I had to strip that connector today.
2 of them are like a grounding pin to provide power or whatever.
I think it switches the machine to like rotary mode and disables the Y-axis. But I had to I basically cut that, stripped all those wires, and then I had to use Phoenix connectors to get it wired into like an external stepper driver. And then I had to wire the stepper driver's output like directly into the laser card. And I was like, Jesus, this sucks. And he was having a blast. He thought that was just like the most fun thing. He was just like standing there watching, giving advice, like wondering why certain things were the way they were or weren't working or whatever. And we got it done, but it's neither.
One of my favorite things is watching you MacGyver shit, because like LBX last year, because it just happened this week or whatever. Like LBX last year, where you were like and throwing an antenna into the tree. Like, who the fuck thinks of that? But you did, and it worked. It's insane.
It totally worked. Yeah.
So, anyways, but like I could just see you like David there, and you're just like stripping down the pins, just like with your teeth. Hold on one second.
I did at one point bite. I was chewing on the shrink tubing.
That's exactly
to try to get the shrink tubing off.
Hey,
just gnawing at it.
Like there's literally a knife 3 feet from you. No, I don't need that.
Yeah. Rhiannon brought me a scalpel at one point, and I ended up using that. But
yeah,
it was a good.
Finally fail.
It's a good time. So that's my story about that. No need to drone on about that for too long. It's not that interesting, but
vomit, cats, and teeth on wires. That's a solid intro.
It's not done. Yeah. Have a nice day.
See you in the next one, guys.
Yeah. Adios. Is there anything important going on in chat?
A lot of people saying,
Sargon Tavor, what up, dude?
Yeah, I mean, to start us off, Bunny Washer was first today. Congratulations, Bunny. You're the true hero. Lara, I mean, like by a half a second, was second.
Lara by a hair.
Oh, no, Yuri was first. I lied. Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri was first because I said the cheese has entered the building.
What a piece of garbage I am. Yeah, I need to scroll up some more. Let's see. You were second. Mike C was
Keith's
third.
Here today. What's up, Keith?
Now, and then Bronson said, I'll take third when he's the fourth comment.
Nice.
And he's like 40 minutes behind. Anyways, we got Keith Bordley. We got Laura. We got Michael Ward.
It's James Brewer. What's up, Brewer?
James Brewer. And we got Anthony over at Beam It Up Laserworks has said hello in here, had a few conversational things. We got Todd W. I'm thinking that's Todd Wedlucky. We got, let's see, ET. What's going on, Mike? And then we got a couple other people who have joined chat too. Oh, Resin. What's going on, Resin? Got Cheryl here. Jennifer Lude says hello, everyone. She's from Florida. Hey, there you go,
Jennifer.
Hey.
Yeah, Anthony said, you said, hey, Matt, are you from Nashville? Because you're the only 10 I see, and I appreciate that.
Hey.
It's a solid pickup line. Nice. GDS Woodcraft said he's working on slate coasters. Nice. Scott A said good day. So, yeah, we got, my goodness, who else do we have in here? So many people. Me in here. We got Kyle in here. We got
this is a big crew tonight.
Ward. I know, Michael Ward. He said he went on his first LBX trip this year. So that was really cool. My goodness. And then I'm seeing if there's any Sargon Tavor. Yeah, and there you go. Got Jack in the shop. Said, what are y'all doing tonight? We'll be talking, buddy. And that's pretty much it. We're caught up now. Yay.
I'm glad you said talking, buddy, because I was going to say your mom. Got him.
That's a mouthful. Anyways, boom.
Smoke show. Yeah. All right, cool. Everyone's here. I love it. Whoa.
Hey, Kathy Devers, what's up?
Look at what is it, Bliney? I don't even know how you say that.
Oh,
Bliney? Am I saying that right?
Bliney Crisp.
I don't want to fucking butcher your name, but I just did it. Hello from South Dakota. I think that's the first South Dakotan.
Hey, smoke show. So yeah, me cool. Too. 120 degrees in Tampa today. It was nuts. Yeah, it's stupid. Like my garage the entire day has been 61 degrees. Loved it. If you have not purchased a split unit for your shop, buy a split unit for your shop.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Well, I guess we can switch to the thumbnail topic real quick.
Let's go.
This is listen, guys, this is going to be it's kind of a love letter that you write to a friend who's addicted to drugs and needs an intervention. That's where we're at right now with WeCreat hardware. Because I just got the Lumos, which I'm sure you guys have probably been seeing. Kyle knows exactly what I'm doing. He's pulling up my.
That is that's the spell from Harry Potter.
From Harry Potter, yeah, Wingardium. I just got the WeCreat Lumos. It's my third WeCreat machine they've sent me. I've done a review on approximately 0 WeCreat machines, and it's not for no reason. If you guys remember when they sent the Vision and the 40-watt Vision, the 20-watt Vision, the 40-watt Vision,
right?
I really, really, really like those machines. They're built so well. They're so nice. Their modules are super clean. The machine design is super streamlined and pretty and easy to use. But everything, even the tiniest jobs, took hours because the machine didn't have bi-directional scanning. Okay. Now, at the time, I recall there being a reason for that. I'm sure there was. If Kyle comes back, I'm sure he'll explain it.
I'm here.
Oh,
My
yeah.
camera just died.
What was the original reasoning for not having bidirectional scanning on the vision machines?
So my understanding is that it was originally available when the machine shipped, is my understanding. And the limited amount of time I spent digging around online back then, it seemed that people were having, I guess, quality issues. So, like, imagine you have a CO2 laser, a gantry, right? Standard gantry with a DSP controller. Typically, what you would do if you want to crank up the speeds beyond a couple 100 millimeters per second, you want to push it to 300, 400, 500 or more in these newer machines, is you would need to run an offset adjustment to compensate for the time that it takes to trigger your source and for the beam to hit the material and turn off in the time frame that it's supposed to.
That's a basic principle of engraving with a DSP. Almost everybody has to do that, right? That's not we're not talking about some like crazy workaround you have to do. This is expected behavior.
And now, so that's with the DSP. Now imagine diodes get faster and faster, right? This is the time we're in now, where in the last year or two, we now have diodes with enough power that they can push 200, 300, 400, 500 millimeters per second.
Man, that's wild.
Instead of measuring per minute like we used to.
Yeah.
And so we're rocking at an order of magnitude faster. So that compensation becomes more important, and we can do that with G-code lasers and Lightburn. The problem is while some of these machines are functional in Lightburn, we don't always get the ability to tune those. And in the case of the WeCreat machines, we actually just don't get bidirectional at all. So I actually have this. I made a thing.
This
the
is
power of Lightburn.
If you guys are confused and have no idea what we're talking about, pay attention now, because this is where we're going to make sense.
So fundamentally, and by the way, this is Lightburn 2.0 with dark mode.
It's so sexy.
My eyes love this.
Yeah, me too.
So this is bidirectional. So if we start, let's say we start right here. This is our starting point. Oh, so you can see it. Oh, there we go. That's our starting point. So if we're starting here, we travel to the right, and then we move, and then we travel to the left, and we move, and we travel to the right, and then to the left. So this is functionally meaning that we're not losing a lot of time transitioning from line to line on a fill pattern. So this is super efficient. This is kind of like the gold standard of what we do. And in some cases, we want unidirectional. But really, unidirectional is kind of a workaround for if you don't have the tuning done at the fundamental level to achieve the results you're looking for. So if you go slow enough, this shouldn't matter. You should be able to do this. But as you speed up, if you haven't done this tuning, you kind of get stuck in unidirectional. Now, if I go down here, right?
Yeah, you went way deeper into this than I thought you would. That makes me happy.
That's Kyle's MO, bro.
I know, that's his autobiography. Like way deeper into this.
Come on, man.
And this is why I respond on LMA. So this is, so if anybody listening right now has done the offset adjust tuning or tuning in Lightburn for your timing and delays and your jump values, this is going to look familiar, where basically if you do a fill pattern and then you do a contour box around it, this is part of your core basic tuning. This is fundamental to what sets a good engraver apart from somebody who just picks it up and doesn't put the time in and puts out garbage, right? This is one of the things you can tell if you're rushing through stuff, that your quality just isn't going to be there. So if your starting point is inside the contour box in offset adjust terms on a gantry laser, and I'll explain why I'm specifically referring to gantry lasers later, but at this point, our little matchsticks at the end of our lines are outside the contour box, and our starting points are on the inside, way inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the opposite extreme of that is if we're starting way early and we're ending way early, right?
Right.
And the secondary value that we have in offset adjust tuning is if the contour box doesn't line up with our fill.
Right.
So like if you go to cut something out that you're filling and you have a cut box outside of your fill, this is fundamentally what you could end up getting if you don't tune things properly, where
Sure.
the fill is just so bonkers. It's not even fuzzy on the edges, because that's what this would look like, is just fuzz followed by a contour line. This is just you're cutting out. It's like print and cut in the wrong spot. It's just you're off.
Yeah.
Well, this is what we're going for. And the reason why this is fundamental and we're even talking about this is because the WeCreat machines right now don't, at least currently, seem to have this type of tuning enabled in their software.
And the only reason, let's just be like super clear, the only reason that it needs this is because of the speeds that the system is moving at, right? If it had a lower max speed, this wouldn't be a problem.
This is functionally what we're getting,
right?
So what this means, so I put a second hidden layer here. So this is our engrave path in the red, and this is our return path, because the head has to return to the starting point before it can move to the next line and start engraving to go to the right.
Right.
Or vice versa to the left. It doesn't really matter. The point is we're engraving one line at a time like normal, but instead of jumping down a fraction of a millimeter to the next line and just proceeding the other direction, you now have to return path the entire way. So if you're filling something that's like a foot long, your head has to travel a foot and then a fraction of a millimeter to traverse the next line.
Yeah.
So you're literally cutting your efficiency in half, roughly, maybe worse, depending on
at
overscan.
Least half, at least 50%.
Yeah. So this is a situation where, I mean, it's just, if the advertised speed is a max of 600 millimeters per second, it's a max of 600 millimeters per second unidirectional, which means, I guess, technically a slower machine at 300 millimeters per second would be functionally roughly matching the runtime performance. And if the software that comes with it has this type of tuning, now it has the capability to push harder and faster and bidirectional, and it's just going to blow it out of the water now. So really, this is a, hey bro, we love your machines, but like this is fundamental to what we need to really get the most out of it. Unlock the hardware, right? This is what we want.
Yeah, and so the biggest surprise, the biggest mystery, and the reason that I'm doing this like PSA intervention for WeCreat today is because the Lumos arrived. Right now, the Lumos is an F1 style, like G-code galvo machine. I say a G-code galvo machine. It's not like EasyCAD style controlled galvo laser. They use G-code trickery to get a gantry style set of instructions to run on a galvo machine. That said, when that machine arrived, I expected, like the F1 or the F1 Ultra or like the upcoming F2, whatever, bidirectional scanning. I just expected that because every single machine that I've used up until this point that's had that same feature set, as far back as like the Laser Pecker 2, which is one of my oldest, Matt, you're muted, One of my oldest Galvo style diode lasers. That laser has bidirectional scanning. So why does this machine not? It's just, I can't wrap my head around it. And it's so disappointing because like the Vision, the 20-watt Vision and the 40-watt Vision they sent me, the Lumos is a beautiful machine. It's an amazing, really cool. It's so nice. It's so nice. And I can't recommend it. I cannot recommend it in its current state because,
as the kids would say, it's thick with 3 C's.
Yeah, dude, it's thick. It's got, it's $100 more than the F1's current pricing. And it's got an extra watt on the IR laser. So it's a 3-watt IR, which is great. That's a 50% increase. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, 2 watts to 3 watts, but that's a big jump. So it's got the extra watt on the IR. It has an equally powerful diode module. It has an autofocus, a slick new autofocus system that is like second, like so fast. It's like whoop, done. Like it's so fast. It's got a goddamn camera built into it. It ships with a 150 millimeter lens over a 110.
That's
huge, dude. That's an extra
50% larger work.
2 inches, yeah, an extra 2 inches you get to play with.
2 inches makes a big difference, people.
That's right. I love every single thing.
Keeps telling me
every single thing about this machine. It's marking great. It's doing awesome work, and it is so fucking slow because it only marks unidirectionally. And the worst part is, unlike the Vision machines, which do have light burn profiles on their website that you can download, this does not. For whatever reason, despite saying it's light burn compatible, there's no
at least not yet.
Yeah, there's no device profile as of recording that I can drop it into to even see if I can work around it in light burn. I wonder, did we try? We must have tried the Vision machines. I can't remember now because I'm on the spot and I'm in my living room. I can't remember if Lightburn allowed me to bypass the bidirectional limitation by using Lightburn inherently or not.
I believe you could.
Did.
Yeah, it's not like a lockout. I don't think you're stuck like firmware wise.
You just didn't have.
It'll run the G code as it's sent to it, but the problem is at least from WeCreate, it's just not an option. Now, I don't know if this is... Yeah. So for all we know, it's possible that maybe they're targeting entry-level users, right? Maybe they're approaching this from the standpoint that someone just starting out isn't going to necessarily have the skills, the know-how, or access to the information to tune this kind of thing. So maybe this is a method of ruling out quality issues for people just getting started.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, and that's fine, like I get that. And technically, like, you're capable of hitting your advertised speed, so I don't see that necessarily as a problem. But give us like an advanced section you can unlock. And even if you don't support customers through the tuning, give them access to it, right?
I would agree with you, but we're not talking about a $500 laser. We're talking about a $1,300 laser, 13 and change. So how can you charge that price for a laser that's supposed to be entry level? But then
was that for the laser or like a whole setup that came?
That's just the machine.
Yeah, that's your
literally just the base unit. Yeah.
See, and for people who so for anyone who's listening to this, by the way, after the fact, and you cannot see like all the graphics that Kyle did, that's super helpful.
You should watch this episode.
To paint you a really quick picture, imagine buying a marker that you can color in from left to right and then right to left over and over again at faster speeds with a high consistency of like accuracy, versus one where you can only color from left to right,
and then you have to pick up your hand and move back to the beginning.
That you're losing. And I know Kyle explained it great, but I'm just saying, like, just to break it down super simple.
Yeah.
That's really it. Definitely go on to the new podcast channel, because it's actually a new podcast channel, and take a look at those to help you better understand it. But yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too, is like if you were looking at it, it's the overshoot. And I know on a Galvo, you don't really have this, but
on gantry, it's overscan. And
yeah,
but like on Galvo, it's just, it has to do with your timing and your jump.
Yeah.
But like here, let me bring this back up again.
Yeah.
Really, like if we go from left to right here, and this is our stopping point, the thing that we're really tuning for too. So in Galvo terms, right, we have mirror wobble. So what we're tuning for as well is jump delay. So if we go from this point to this point, it's going to be a fraction of a millimeter, like 0.1 millimeters or something like that is your line interval. That's functionally what these lines are interpreted as. You aren't jumping very far, which means the mirror twitching 0.1 millimeter isn't going to cause a lot of wobble. But if these lines are like, again, super, super long, like a couple inches, typically we would tune jump delay in Lightburn or in EasyCAD based off of like a centimeter, right? As an example.
Yeah.
So, and it scales down the closer you get. So if your mirror is jumping a full centimeter, you tune that for your max jump delay. And then between your max and your minimum jump delays, it's scaling that down in order to reduce your engraving times.
To let them, you're basically changing the amount of time the mirrors have to rest after making a move, so they're not shaking when they start the next line.
Right.
And depending on if you jump further, they need more time to stop wiggling. If you're jumping shorter distances, they need less time to stop wiggling. And you can tune that.
Really quick, and Blenny asked this just now. Like, so we were just having
Blinn.
a conversation.
It's Lynn with a B.
Right. So
said that in chat.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. So Blinn just had said they bought this. They actually bought the Lumos. So they're wondering, would it be an ideal thing to engrave ornaments at an event quickly? And my comment literally right after that was, that's probably their market, is they're looking for people who are trying to take things, because it is a really cool looking enclosed laser. And she had asked, do you think the X tool is better, or do you think this one would be better?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's no doubt that the X tool will take half the time on the vast majority of things. Now, half the time, if you're running a 60-second tiny mark, versus 120 seconds at a craft show, is that a huge deal? Probably not, but if you're taking something that would normally run in 10 minutes and it's now taking 20, that becomes a problem, so the scale of the project matters. It really depends on what exactly you're trying to do. And the X tool has downsides. The X tool, you're not autofocusing, right? The X tool doesn't have a camera. The X tool's size, the size of the bed is much smaller. It's 50% smaller on the F1s. So, there's a lot of reasons to like the Lumos, and that's part of my frustration here, is that like I don't want to write this review because I love this machine. I really do. I like it a lot.
I feel like what you're saying is it's like a machine that has all the bells and whistles, but then it's a standard shift instead of an automatic, which is what you would expect at this point.
It's just so weird, and I hope that WeCreat sees this episode. I'm sure they will. They're pretty up on their social media, and maybe decides to tackle this issue. And you guys can reach out to me too. Reach out to any of us. We have a lot of suggestions on how this problem can easily be solved without interfering or interrupting your regular user's experience. And I'd be happy to share them with you guys. I don't know if it should derail your purchasing decision, Blinn. It's kind of up to you. It sounds like your use case is going to be for small items, at like a bulk of small items. And if that's the case, then it's probably not going to make a huge difference. But like Jack said, Jack's killing it in chat right now, but there is a difference. And it's something that you should know about when you have this machine coming to you.
I see two ways you can handle that, Blend, by the way, is one, it makes a really, really cool visual that's going to take longer per product. So if you are making individualized stuff for people, they can walk up on it. It's shielded. They can look at the products being made, and it's really cool looking. So that's actually, to me, kind of a plus, because people, if an ornament takes 30 seconds and then you zap it out and people didn't get a chance to see it, you've lost like a pull to your table, to your tent. But the other thing is, make sure that you have like some type of system in place where you say, hey, this is going to take a few minutes for us to make. You can stick around, but you can also come back, like pay first, come back, and we'll have that set up and ready for you. So that would be the only thing.
Go get a chili dog and circle back around, you know, and we'll have it ready. And that's probably fine. You know, I think that the F1, if you really, really need to go fast, is probably the better answer, but only if you really, really need to go fast. This is kind of a nitpicky complaint that a lot of people aren't going to notice, but it's something that I can't. We
can't unsee it.
I can't unsee it.
They sent it to you to say, tell us what works and what doesn't.
And where it is a big deal, where it's always a big deal, is on the vision machines, which is like even more offensive to me than the Lumos, because the Lumos, you at least have the Galvo scanning speeds kind of pushing you along to get things done. The Lumos is so incredibly slow because it's a diode gantry laser moving giant diode modules around, that not having that bidirectional scan just murders its performance. And it's sad.
To kind of give a number to it too, not to cut you off, but the max move speed of the gantry machines, the vision machines, those are 600 millimeters a second. Your return path, I believe, is set by your movement speed for the engrave layer. So if you're engraving at 200 millimeters per second, you're probably return pathing at 200 millimeters per second. So it's still going to be more or less linear between the two.
But
I
don't know how they're calculating that, though. They may have just like a set jump speed. Like I know on EasyCAD boards, like a jump speed is set independently of your scan speed. So you could be engraving at 300 millimeters a second, but then performing your jumps at like 4,000. You know?
That's true. But on any engraving software I've ever used for gantry, whether it's RDWorks, Lightburn, whatever other G-code based software, it's just you're setting the speed, and that's the speed. Yeah. Sure. There could be some trickery where the WeCreat software knows it's a return path, so it can just recklessly send it. But
like
that would be something that at least recklessly, not recklessly, but you get my point.
No, I like
it can just call to the other end of the gantry, but there is a possibility where they could be injecting like a line by line. You're going to return at this speed, and then the next line set speed back to this. Yeah. I don't know what the capability is on that at the controller level, but we don't get that option typically on gantries like we do with jump delays on Galvo, just because of also the speed of the instructions. Galvo machines take direction changes and coordinate changes like instantly.
Yeah, because they stream data.
Yeah. With a gantry, you're just not moving that fast typically.
Yeah.
And Sargon actually brings up a great question.
Yeah, we got great questions.
The mirror movement tune-up is based on the software you're using. It is not saved in EasyCAD board. I mean, if I switch from EasyCAD 2 to Lightburn, I need to retune. Absolutely.
Yeah. So just blanket statement here. Nothing is saved to the EasyCAD board that isn't part of the firmware. So no change you ever make in EasyCAD 2 is just going to show up magically in Lightburn unless you are specifically paying attention to like mark config imports, which people don't recommend doing anymore. You can do your entire setup in Lightburn now, and that's usually how we recommend doing it. But never make a change to any parameter in EasyCAD and expect that data to be saved to the board. It doesn't have like read write.
It doesn't communicate in reverse. It just accepts directions and it does what it's told. That's really
Are you saying there's no bi-directional communication?
Yeah. So
Correct.
not only is that not the case for this, that will never be the case for anything that you configure at runtime.
Yeah. So likewise too, with any gantry machine, any diode, whatever, if you're using like the WeCreate software or the Xtool software, XES or anything like that, it's not saving a config to the machine so that if you switch computers and you're using Lightburn on that machine now, it's not going to know that because it doesn't communicate both directions on
Jack's
that.
on fire today. He's got the words I'm looking for. There's
no EEPROM. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
It's because they didn't pass eMath.
Rough.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they went to summer school.
Yeah. They thought it was going to be easy, but they were CADs.
What did I miss here? Where's Bunny coming from with this?
So one of the things we were talking about is
you guys talking in chat.
Yeah, in chat, basically, Bunny had said make sure that if you scroll up a little bit, he said running a laser at an event, don't count on it because many events are not allowing laser use on site now because of insurance purposes. And I had mentioned make sure that you always check with the event coordinators because if you're dropping 50, especially right now, this time of year, prices go up on markets because it's it's
Christmas the busy time for markets. Yeah.
Right. Like all of the ones right now are the ones closest to me are like Christmas in July, Christmas in summertime, prepping for. So like, everybody's already doing Christmas stuff. If you haven't started, start.
A lot of the ones that are around me, I have to pay $100 or $125 to apply, and there's no guarantee that I even make it into the.
I don't remember who mentioned this a couple weeks ago on the podcast. We were saying for events where you can't bring your laser, which it sounds like is going to be more and more as time goes on, just like shoot footage of you doing other people's stuff and play it on a monitor. It'll give the same effect. They don't know, it's like just.
That's literally what I said is be careful because if you don't ask, Michael Ward had said it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. And that's exactly what I said. I said, be careful because you might have to, when you get there, you set everything up and then you basically sit next to it all day. I promise it works. I promise.
Yeah.
So set up a video, take I think you'd mentioned having an iPad in the past or setting up like your laptop where it's got a video on display.
You could probably, like bring the laser and just not run it.
God, show them us. Who cares? Like, literally put on laser everything and let them watch some of our shows and be like, this is what it can do.
Yeah.
But and the other thing too, to make sure if you are someone who's trying out markets for the first time, make sure that they have electricity that you can have access to. It may cost more, so make sure that you know the surcharge. Also, if you don't have those things, make sure that you have some type of battery backup. I know we have like a recommended one on the buying guide. Here's mine that I got from the buying guide. Boom, super simple. It's an EcoFlow River 2, I think, which is what we have on the buying guide currently. So you can find that there.
Sounds like some hippie shit.
I mean, they've got them all over the place.
EcoFlow River 2. That's what I'm going to name my next daughter.
You can get them bundled with the solar panels too, right, Matt?
Yeah,
so you can keep yourself topped off if you're there for a weekend.
That one used to be $500. Now it's down to like $300. They're getting more and more because the lithium prices are dropping because there's more access to them. But anyway, be mindful and make sure you get the right ampage and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far off of this before we move on. So Bunny Washer is saying it's not fair to poison people that are unsuspecting of it at a craft show. And I 100% agree. Which is why I would suggest to you, to get a fume extractor. You can get a little one. They Xtool and WeCreate both make them for their lasers. So if you want that, you should get it. They're not that expensive, relatively,
for what
compared
they do.
to other things for what they do. And I just bought my first filter from Xtool for that little Xtool filter unit that I have that came with the F1 when they sent that over.
For a while.
It was $100. Yeah, and I feel like I got a year out of the last one.
I literally was about to say it was a year ago, I think.
Yeah, I didn't use it every day. That machine didn't get used.
You used it heavy on a couple of projects though that were really gross too.
I did use it heavily, and they have the Xtool filtration. Great. Nice. So that'll work fine. I actually that is the extractor I'm using with the Lumos during testing.
There you go.
So I can tell you that that combo works perfectly fine. But get an extractor, then you poison no one, you know? And if you're going to events, I would use the extractor at events to keep that set up mobile and only use it at events to limit how many filters you're going through. And then when you're at home or in your workspace, have a permanent exhaust solution set up so that you're not burning through $100 filters, $100 HEPAs all the time. Just use the extractor setup when you're on the road. And then you can be less guilty about poisoning people, which is really the socially responsible.
This is why I love Bunny Washer. He literally was just warning us about safety at events. And then can you highlight his last comment that he just put here?
Yeah, sure.
He's like, also, I wonder if you could put that battery pack in a backpack, the X tool in a front harness, and laser while you walk.
Absolutely. It would be like a baby in a papoose.
Yeah, and then I'd be like Alex pretending that David from XL Laser was here all day because I'd be huffing all the fumes.
Yeah, totally.
David was here, really. We were talking about New York.
So two things real quick. So with the filtration, and this is kind of standard with any kind of filtration realistically, if you're burning organics that are really sooty, they have sap or glues, anything like that, they're going to tack up your pre-filter a lot faster than stuff like metals, because when you burn a metal, there's really not a lot left of it that can be sticky. So what you're getting is solid soot and like microscopic fragments of metal.
Yeah.
And that'll get caught in your different layers of filter media. But assuming you have a 3-stage filter, which you really should at least at a minimum, but the organics are going to tack things up and make it sticky, and it's going to grab onto a lot more stuff in the earlier stages of the filter, and you're going to end up replacing those a lot more frequently if that's the type of material you burn.
Also, no, go ahead. I just have a pro tip about X-Tool filters you reminded me of, but I'll wait until you're done. Sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Okay. So the X-Tool filtration, I just saw Blinn again in the chat. The X-Tool filter unit, the old one, they have a new one that's much more expensive now that I know nothing about because I don't have it. But the older style one that's just a white cube, essentially, when my filter went bad, right, it went bad, it refused to run for more than a couple seconds until the filters changed. And it does that by sensing how much I think stress is on the fan trying to suck the air through the filter. So if it has to try too hard, it will turn itself off, right? But here's the trick. If your X-Tool filtration unit is pissy at you because you haven't changed the filter yet and you need to use it, which I did, you can take the filter out completely and turn the unit on with nothing in it. It only checks the airflow for the first couple of seconds. So you just wait a couple seconds and then drop the filter back in and close it back up, and it'll run for as long as until you turn it off and turn it back on again. So it's a little workaround for you. You didn't hear it from me, but it totally worked. And that filter is huge. It's like this big and this wide, and it's still obviously got a ton of life left in it. I'm not recommending you do this, but I needed it. I did order a replacement, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it still needs to be used in the meantime. So that is my workaround for the in the meantime. But just to be perfectly clear, I did order a new filter. So
yeah,
it was thick with 3 C's.
Yeah, it was. So the other thing I was gonna go back to before we wander away from it was insurance and liability at events. So a lot of the reason why event coordinators are veering away from live engraving, and in the case of like insured events, like especially ones done on town property or in schools or whatever, where they're just saying absolutely not, is a lot to do with the the problems that people have created for us in this industry by not using extractors at events and not providing eye protection or enclosing the laser at events. and creating safety and health problems and people finding out about it later and asking for forgiveness instead of permission. What we really should be doing is doing right by the rest of our industry and just being prepared and safe up front, because the people who don't do it now and are then told no later are the ones that are going to make all of us look bad and are going to kill it for the rest of us at events.
Yeah. But isn't that the way just like everything goes?
Yep, absolutely.
So
it's just like
expected.
It's just like the more people who burn down their garages that are insured and put in claims with their insurance for leaving their laser running overnight while they go home and sleep, that is going to make it more difficult for all of us to get insurance.
Or worst case scenario, make it more difficult for all of us to get lasers.
Yeah, that too. It's called risk pooling, and it's a big problem. And the more issues that occur, and the more you make the industry look bad, the harder it is for all of us.
Yeah, yeah. So. Can we jump to that LLC question that TJ Michael asked?
Yeah. Where is it?
It is. Up above, in between Michael sandwich. There's a Michael.
I got these new. Look at these. Welcome. Hey.
It looks like you're petting his afro.
I know. Like and subscribe. Oh, thanks for the reminder, Matt. Hey, guess what time it is?
Is this one?
Q&A. You like that?
I mean, it did cover Kyle's face, so that's a plus. But other than that, not much. Yeah. So question. TJ Michael says, is it a good idea to start an LLC if I want to start selling laser goods? That is a great question. And in the chat, people have already been addressing it as well as me. Jack in the shop said some information about firearms. Anyways, long story short, LLCs can be great, but it absolutely depends on what you're trying to do with your business. If you want to start a business, depending on where you are, it completely matters, because it could be something that's state. It could also be something local because of the township that you're in. Definitely want to make sure that you research that with your local chamber of commerce, because that actually has a lot of information of what you need. But the pluses of an LLC, and this is, by the way, all this information is great, and it's on the Laser Everything. Oh my God. Not LaserEverything.net. Laser Master Academy. God, I'm tired.
The business courses that you did.
It's really hard to watch.
I'm tired, man.
I was right there with you.
I know. I'm like the lasers with the masters at the academy. Anyways, so yeah, if you head to the Laser Master Academy, this is all there, and it's written down, and it's got all kinds of great information as well as some quizzes. But anyways, the gist of it is you can save a little bit of money by using an LLC, and you don't have to pay for taxes on things, but you have to collect the taxes. Then you have tax remittance and all of that kind of stuff. It does cost money to create an LLC, and then on top of that to maintain it. But the nice thing is you do get some tax breaks later on. Sole proprietorship gets a lot of those same things. The difference being that your assets can be divided between you and your limited liability corporation that you create. I saw people mentioning in C Corps and all that kind of stuff. That's for when you're getting bigger up the chain later on. But definitely some great information at the Laser Master Academy that you can access.
A lot of the difference between like a sole prop business, which is just you start a business in your name, blah, 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 versus an LLC, is that there's a reason why it's called an LLC, a limited liability company. You're separating yourself from your company so that if your company gets sued, it's hopefully, in an ideal world, not your assets that go out the window if you did something wrong or if somebody sues you and they win as well.
And one of the other big things too about the different types of corps that you do in LLC, you actually have transferable like money. So if I want to pay myself, like I have a job for $1,000 and I want to take the 600 or 700 of it that's profit from that, I can withdraw that into my account. If it's a different type of incorporation, you might only be able to do quarterly releases, like quarterly payments. It's a whole thing, man.
There's rules.
Yeah,
wow, I didn't realize I was ending this episode today by taking a nap.
Listen, sir, this is the kind of stuff that lets people have a home to sleep in, so and keep them from it being burnt down by the government.
Brilliant. I have
for themselves
this out really quick. Laser and Leave, title of Jack's sex tape. All right. Just had to get that out there.
Oh my God.
We're done. I think we're tired.
I'm so glad that I'm glad that we ended it with that.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, that's how we always end
on a
the show.
Positive note, huh?
There's nothing positive about a Jack sex tape. What are you talking about?
Laser and leave? Come on, that's hilarious.
Jack's gonna just be sitting there. Never mind. I'm not getting into this.
All right. Thank you.
It's a whole new meaning to pulse with.
Laura appreciates me. She said Alex is funny tonight.
I'm done. I quit.
Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode of the Laser Source podcast. We appreciate you guys coming. Jack said he didn't know that was released.
We love you, Jack.
Yeah, Jesus. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already to make sure you get notified the next time we go live. Blinn, thanks for hanging out. It was great having you. Thanks for the amazing questions.
I can't believe she's making terrible jokes.
Shit, dude. When Kathy bounced, I was like, Blinn's next. But she stuck it out. So we're glad you stuck it out. You hung out with us, Blinn, despite our horrible attitudes. Reminder, Matt mentioned it earlier. There is a new YouTube page where the podcast edits are going up. So if you want to catch up on old episodes without all the ums, ahs, and some of the bad words bleeped out, you can go check it out. It's over at it's over at youtube.com/@lasersource. youtube.com/@lasersource. There's a link to it on the Laser Everything homepage, and you can just scroll down and click it, and all the edits have been uploaded over there. They've all been removed from the main channel here. So we'll keep doing our lives here Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. That's not changing. But if you're trying to catch the edits, check it out one more time. It is youtube.com/@laser source. Go subscribe over there. It's got like 40 subs right now, and we have 75,000 over here. So if you haven't already, please hit that with a subscribe. Leave a couple comments on some old episodes. Help us build up some momentum over there so we can get those in front of more people. But that's it. That's all the homework I have for you guys. Lots more to talk about next week. I'll let you know if anything changes with the WeCreate. Maybe they'll reach out and be like, hey, we saw your thing. We're so sorry. Let's fix it. A guy can dream.
I'd actually like 500 words on why you should or shouldn't start an LLC. I'd like citations to your way.
Great. In the comments. Leave those in the comments down below.
I'll check those.
Or you could just leave in the comments, laser and leave. Don't laser and leave.
Laser, I hardly know her.
Laser and leather.
All right. That's it. We're going. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.